That's right, I love her so much I'm making a whole video about her. It's mostly because I'm worried. I don't want her to become Saw 2.0 in part 2, but it's not looking good, guys. At the end of chapter 42, Vita and Saw had one final chat where Vita became the god of phosphorus and Saw made some very concerning implications for what's to come in the future. Vita in general has been a bit of an oddball throughout the series so far. She's a wild card. You can't really guess what she's going to do next. She's already done morally questionable things, and I have a suspicion that now that she's a deity, she's going to cause havoc everywhere, no mercy. First things first, she's lacking emotional attachment or compassion to pretty much everyone. Throughout chapters 40 through 42, Vita is constantly leaving the other Vitas, and in chapter 42, we find out that this is because Saw keeps calling Vita to do more work for her, essentially treating Vita like a slave. The little Vitas, they formed a very good bond with Vita and ended up really wanting her to stick around. But anytime Vita spends any amount of excess time with him, Saw cuts that crap right away. Saw instantly comes in to reprimand Vita and remind her that these are seeds and not actual human beings. That's why when Vita says she doesn't care about them multiple times in the latest chapter, I think she is telling the truth, but only because Saw has been beating her in the head with this rhetoric so much that she got brainwashed / trained into not caring and therefore genuinely believes she does not care about them. I mean, I would love to say that she got that emotional compassion and connection during the Sele arc, but then again, did she? I'm not 100% sure. Now that she's a deity, that'll make her situation even worse because the little Vitas, they do not remember her anymore. Anytime she would interact with the Perusians, if she does, they'd forget about her moments later. This extreme lack of emotional connection with people is quite terrifying when you realize she is the person that will now be ruling over phosphorus. When Moriarty talks about Saw being a blind deity that cannot recognize her own essence, Saw says that gods are blind in sight and mortals are blind in the heart. The second half of this statement means that no matter how much wisdom and philosophical knowledge you have as a human, a divine being will always have more wisdom and knowledge that are beyond our understanding. The first half of this statement is referencing the fact that Saw was blind to what she had become, and she only noticed it when it was far too late. Saw is really the only one who can say this. She knows what it is like to be on both sides of this coin. She was a mortal, and now she's a deity. Vita is just now experiencing the deity side of this coin. She now understands a whole lot more, but she's going to be blind somewhere else. Will the same thing happen to Vita? Will she be so cocky that she'll be blind to the fact that she's changing into a shell of her former self? Only time will tell, right? There are no fools here, just three wills enclosed herein from inception, forfeiting their intrinsic values. They sought redress and endeavored to neglect, yet their expansion persists, culminating in a grotesque corpse. That is a lot of big words, Saw. Let's break this down. I don't know why she includes Moriarty in this statement, but I'm sure he's glad to be part of something for once. They all come from different origins and have different reasons for why they are all here. They all forfeit a part of their character. Vita will try to set this world right, and Vita might try to neglect that she was ever a copy of Saw and try to start fresh. However, you can never really erase the past completely, and her humanity will continue to decline just like Saw did until she turns into something as disgusting as Saw. Thanks for the tips, Saw, but honestly, only I can decide what I am and what I want. Okay, Vita, okay. Life does not dictate what you are, I get it. Let me ask you something though. Do you think the former Saw wanted to become a god? That she wanted to become so desperate to save Venus, she would break something so valuable such as the moral compass? Or that Kevin wanted to destroy humanity? Siren, was it her doing that led her to be captured by Sheik Salt and experimented on, tortured for who knows how long? That Otto intended to kill Callan that day? Even you said that life tends to go to the extreme. So yeah, life affects who you become. From what we've seen in the past, this statement seems really ignorant. But for what it's worth, I hope she's right. I hope she is the only quote-unquote villain to beat all odds and that she will take control. Most of all, I hope that Vita doesn't end up regretting what she will become in the future.